Hey everybody, it's Old Fart, your old buddy. How you doing? This is a huge story which developed from a video I did about a month ago in which I gave my very first Giant Moron Award to Minnesota State GOP, aka Reverend Mac Holton, who was allegedly arrested in Germany for threatening the Pope. Winner. He's supposedly a member of a network of concerned conservatives you may have seen around here, responsible for producing fear-mongering propaganda hate videos, such as my personal favorite, Universal Health Care and Gun Control Caused the Holocaust. I've always had a feeling that this whole network is really just a bunch of sock accounts and a front for some group with a pernicious agenda. Oh, if only the owner would just PM me and admit their guilt. Well, it didn't happen exactly like that, but almost. Now, a hoax network like this requires a lot of coordination because you have to create characters, give them personalities and backstories, post in character, and most importantly, keep all their stories straight. And not being able to keep track of all the socks was the fatal flaw that kicked the door in on this scam. The character known as Minnesota State GOP is supposedly a Christian minister named Machias Holton from Maine who moved to Minnesota, and he preaches insane stuff like 9/11 was God's revenge on America for tolerating gays for a living. After I gave him the award, I got suspicious of the story, and so did a couple of my viewers who pitched in here and in Europe to verify the facts I had been given by another alleged member of this network, Maine State GOP, aka Brian Ball, the sole source of the story about Mac's arrest in Germany. Long story short, my investigators couldn't find any records of anyone named Machias Holton even existing, much less being in prison in Germany for threatening the Pope. Suffice it to say, this guy is about as real as the Easter Bunny. Now, to recap the story, Brian told me that Mac went to Germany, told an undercover cop he was there to kill gays and assassinate the Pope, got arrested, and thrown in prison. And although he claimed that he had just gotten back from Germany where he visited Mac in prison in person just days before, even though I asked him repeatedly for the address of that prison so I could write Mac a letter, he couldn't tell me the name of it or even where it was located. Translation: the dog ate my homework. So I told Brian that a friend of mine in Germany wanted to visit Mac and asked what name he was booked under at the prison, because the backstory has always been that Machias Holton is not his real name. He changed it legally from something else. He said Mac was booked under his original name, and when I asked him what that name was, he couldn't remember. And the trumpets of truth did sound, and yea, verily they spake unto me that this guy is lying his ass off. Either Mac Holton is a completely fictional character or the slipperiest guy who ever slipped through every crack society has to verify someone's existence. So I told Brian that I was going to do a video and call him out. And he actually sent me a message validating what we've all suspected all along. This is a phony front group funded by people with a severe right-wing political agenda. He confesses that some of his network's accounts are fake, but continues to claim that Minnesota State GOP, aka Reverend Mac, is a real person. Apparently, the homework-eating dog is still hungry. He admits that he gives instructions to whatever people in his network aren't imaginary on what to say, where to say it, and what to vote on to confront liberal Nazis who want to destroy the American dream. He admits that he has a couple of go-betweens for YouTube, some guy from Texas, and Lee Doran, owner of the YouTube channel How the World Works. He admits getting donations from FreedomWorks and people associated with Lee Doran. And he demonstrates just how psychotic and paranoid he is by claiming that my investigation of him makes him susceptible to terrorist attacks by liberals. Again, he expresses concern about his involvement with Lee Doran. And he winds up trying to blame what he does on liberals because liberalism and government control is a threat. Fascism and liberalism are one. I do not want my son to be told when he can pee by the government. And on and on. Truly the ravings of a madman. And he just posted a video today in an attempt to keep me from making this one. He says I've been threatening him. Well, what else would you expect from someone who thinks the government wants to tell his son when to pee? Well, Brian, if you consider walking into a spinning aircraft propeller because someone told you it was made of ice cream as being threatened, instead of slandering me, why don't you just do us all a favor and go get some ice cream? He also plays the pity card, saying that if I impact his income, homeless and hungry people who depend on him will suffer. Well, Brian, instead of blaming me for your poor career choice, why don't you just tell the next guy whose stomach rumbles he's hungry because you're really more like Joseph Goebbels than Jesus, who would feed them for free. Now, I don't usually ask you guys to do stuff, but this is a decent-sized crack in the wall of right-wing propaganda which uses hate speech and fear-mongering to convince bigoted, superstitious, and low-information voters to vote against their own interests. And it's flush with money. All you and I have on our side is the truth and the ability to spread it. So I'm issuing a call to action. I want you to share this video with everybody you know who loves America, who wants to stop corporations and billionaires who, thanks to Citizens United, can hide behind front groups like ALEC and FreedomWorks and sponsor scumbags like Brian Ball to do their dirty work. I called them out, and the more people that know about it, the better. So I want you to help me make this video go viral. Okay? Okay, it's time to say goodbye to Brian. It is with much pride and joy that I present you with my giant Moron Award. I think you should share it with your sponsors, but they may not be in a very good mood when they find out how you got it. Please join me in saluting Maine State GOP, a giant moron who couldn't keep track of his own socks. Be sure to visit his channel and congratulate him on winning this most prestigious award. I'll put a link in the description below and a list of some of his sock accounts in case you'd like to say hello to him there too. Oh, and I want to thank a couple of people who helped me out with this video. You know who you are. Peace and love, everybody.